Dawn breaks over the Ngorongoro Crater. Life thrives in this enclosed arena. Blue wildebeest graze the endless green plains. But they are never truly alone here. Shadows move through the tall, dew-soaked grass. The matriarch watches her domain closely. She bears the scars of countless battles. Her clan depends on her fierce leadership. She holds the highest rank among them. Her torn ear tells a violent story. Survival here demands absolute, brutal loyalty. The morning air suddenly grows perfectly still. A dark-maned king patrols the caldera floor. He is a solitary engine of destruction. The wildebeest herd senses his heavy steps. Panic ripples through the dense grazing ranks. The lion lowers his massive, heavy head. His amber eyes lock onto a target. Muscles coil tight beneath his golden coat. The matriarch sees the king moving in. She signals her sisters with a chuff. They will wait for the perfect moment. Chaos erupts on the grassy crater floor. The lion launches his massive, brutal strike. Dust explodes into the dry morning air. Hooves thunder against the trembling volcanic earth. The king drags down a struggling wildebeest. His jaws crush the thick windpipe shut. The dust settles around the fresh kill. But the matriarch is already mobilizing them. Low whoops echo across the vast plain. The clan emerges from the tall grass. They outnumber the lone male 10-1. The king roars a terrifying, deep warning. The ground shakes with his raw power. The matriarch does not retreat an inch. She bares her bloody teeth right back. Her raised tail signals an absolute attack. The clan surges forward in strict unison. A haunting whoop pierces the heavy, tense air. They nip at the angry lion's flanks. He spins wildly to defend his prize. Another hyena bites his hind leg hard. The psychological harassment is utterly relentless now. He strikes out with massive, heavy claws. The matriarch dodges the lethal, heavy blow. She counters with a bone-crushing jaw snap. The king realizes he cannot win this. Exhausted, he abandons the stolen, bloody carcass. The Dark King retreats into the brush. The Sisterhood claims their rightful bloody prize. Sickening crunches echo as thick femurs break. They consume every single piece of bone. Nothing goes to waste in the crater. Lappet-faced vultures descend from the sky. They wait patiently for the leftover scraps. The ecological loop is complete once more. Scavengers cleanse the volcanic crater floor entirely. Blood stains the matriarch's faded dark spots. She rests near her fiercely loyal sisters. The brutal war has been won today. The clan grows stronger with every victory. The lion licks his bleeding deep wounds. He must hunt again to survive here. The crater forgives no one at all. The sun begins to set over Ngorongoro. Golden light paints the ancient high walls. Mist clings to the ancient volcanic walls. The matriarch surveys her kingdom once again. Her unbreakable sisterhood stands united and strong. They laugh in the face of death. The throne of the Savanna is theirs. True power lies in numbers and unity. The wild remains completely and beautifully untamed. This is the law of the earth. The Ruaha riverbed is dead. Heat suffocates this cracked earth. Life here demands brutal patience. Only dust moves in the wind. A king waits in the shadows. He is built for this suffering. His golden coat blends perfectly. Hunger sharpens his lethal focus. The waterhole is a cruel trap. Crocodiles lurk in the shrinking mud. The Ruaha riverbed is dead. Blue wildebeest arrive in the haze. Their hooves crunch on baked clay. They smell the toxic mud. The king watches them approach. Every muscle coil like spring steel. The herd is anxious and tired. A calf stumbles in the dust. The predators sense this weakness immediately. The lion lowers his massive head. He calculates the deadly distance. The sun beats down without mercy. Cicadas scream in the dry brush. The trachea is crushed shut. The water is just steps away. One bull drinks from the edge. Silence falls over the burning riverbed. Then the king explodes forward. The herd panics in pure terror. He leaps with terrifying raw power. Claws sink into thick grey hide. The beast falls to the ground. He uses his massive weight perfectly. The brutal hunt is finally over. In this brutal dry season, life is unyielding. Only the dust remains. Marabou storks gather in the trees. They watch with cold, black eyes. The scavengers know their time comes. The king feeds to survive another day. His dark mane drips with crimson. The herd watches from a distance. The crocodiles wait for the scraps. This is the law of Ruaha. Cruelty and beauty exist together here. The waterhole remains a deadly illusion. Thirst always drives them back. The king will wait again tomorrow. He is the master of dust. Nature demands a heavy toll. The cycle repeats without any pause. Only the strong survive the heat. The parched earth claims its own. South Luangwa bakes under a brutal sun. The dry season shows no mercy here. Dust chokes the vast, cracking plains. Termite mounds stand like ancient fortresses. A red-billed oxpecker sounds the first alarm. Danger stalks the high yellow grass. A common warthog grazes on dry roots, unaware that a killer closes in. He is strong, armored, and vigilant. He relies on the oxpecker for warning. But today, the warning came too late. A heavily muscled alpha lioness advances silently. She is hungry and dangerously focused. The wild boar senses the sudden change. He bolts toward the nearest red mound. An abandoned boar den brings a boar to safe refuge. He dives backward into the dark earth. Razor-sharp white tusks face the entrance. The ultimate defensive wall is now set. The lioness arrives at the burrow mouth. She assesses the dark, narrow tunnel. To enter is to risk lethal injury. She begins to dig with heavy claws. The siege of the burrow begins. She snarls into the pitch-black hole. A sharp clack of ivory answers her. The warthog will not surrender easily. Time ticks away in the scorching heat. Her thick muscles strain against hard dirt. The earth refuses to yield its reward. Hoarse growls echo across the prairie. The warthog retreats deeper into the dark. The lioness widens the burrow entrance. Her torn lower lip curls in frustration. The underground standoff reaches a boiling point. She plunges into the dusty abyss. Sharp tusks instantly slash toward her face. She violently pulls back from the strike. Survival here requires a brutal kind of strength. Every scar is a testament to her dominance. It is a grueling psychological war. The sun begins to dip lower. Exhaustion plagues the fierce feline predator. The wild boar maintains a defensive posture underground.
Another lunge meets another violent clash.
She cannot break the ivory wall.
The risk of fatal injury is too high. She slowly emerges from the cave. The lioness accepts her bitter defeat. She pants heavily in the fading light. A spotted hyena watches from the shadows. On these dusty plains, life is a constant, desperate search. But there's nothing left to steal. The lioness leaves the dusty mound behind. She must hunt again to survive. The hyena sniffs the scarred earth. The burrow remains deeply entrenched and secure. Inside, the warthog breathes heavy and fast. His ancient instinct saved his life today. The predator's failure sustains the prey. This is the delicate balance of survival. The oxpecker returns to its unusual companion. Night falls over South Luangwa National Park. The heat slowly escapes the dry earth. Termite mounds cast long, dark shadows. The earth offers a fleeting refuge. But it can also become a tomb. Survival is a brutal, relentless test.
It is a game of who blinks first. The warthog won this silent war. The lioness will face tomorrow's dawn. Both are prisoners of this wild rhythm. The African plains demand constant strength. Weakness is never forgiven out here. The brutal dry season marches onward. The wilderness keeps its ancient secrets. The eternal dance never ends. A phantom waits in darkness. Only organic mud remains. It is the wild axolotl. External gills twitch with rhythm. It blends into the silt. Stillness is a survival tactic. Freshwater snails slowly slide past. They clean the ancient mud. The ecosystem rests in peace. A giant water bug lurks. It waits for careless movement. But the axolotl stays frozen. Every heartbeat is carefully measured. Vibrations ripple through the water. The mud serpent has arrived. A Mexican garter snake descends. The predator tastes the water. Chemical trails guide the hunter. A flickering tongue detects life. The snake closes the distance. The axolotl senses the change. Vibrations ripple through the water. Red gills quiver in fear. Soft mud conceals the approach. Tension builds in the dark. The axolotl braces for impact. The snake coils its body. Jaws open wide in silence. Fangs bare in the void. The serpent grabs the amphibian. The axolotl thrashes with fury. Desperation fuels the violent dance. Silt blinds them both completely. The struggle consumes the dark.
A sudden burst of strength.
The axolotl slips right out. It darts into the gloom. The serpent snaps at nothing. The prey has escaped death. The mud cloud slowly settles. The snake tastes empty water. A failed hunt means hunger. It slithers back into darkness. Heart rate begins to slow. The axolotl finds a refuge. Snails approach the churned dirt. They feed on disturbed debris. Nothing is wasted down here. Gills resume their steady rhythm. The cycle of life continues. Sight is a useless luxury. To stay still is life. The dark waterways remain unbroken. The phantom rests once more. To move is to die. Instinct governs the silent deep. The water bug watches silently.
A silent heartbeat dictates destiny.
The Svalbard archipelago is a frozen, fractured world. Here, jagged blue sea ice meets dark ocean. Survival demands extreme biological adaptation. Temperatures routinely plunge to -40 degrees. He is a colossal male polar bear. Yellowish fur covers his heavily scarred, massive frame. His massive paws distribute a half-ton weight. He navigates the blinding white snowdrifts silently. Below the ice lies a rich marine ecosystem. Ringed seals thrive in these freezing ocean waters. Silver-gray fur and thick blubber keep them alive. Frost-tipped whiskers detect the slightest water vibrations. The bear stops abruptly on the jagged ice. His olfactory bulb is massive and highly evolved. He can smell prey from 20 miles away. He detects a seal beneath 3 solid feet. The hunt requires immense patience. He creeps forward at just 2 miles hourly. A pure white Arctic fox shadows his every move. The fox relies on the bear for survival. It waits patiently for the inevitable bloody scraps. The bear reaches the hidden seal breathing hole. He freezes into a perfectly motionless, deadly statue. Hours pass in the relentless, howling Arctic wind. Below, the seal needs oxygen to survive. It swims upward toward the small ice opening. The silver-gray seal breaches the surface to breathe. The bear strikes with 1,200 pounds force. The bite force exceeds 1,200 psi. Blood stains the blinding white snowdrifts crimson. This kill is an absolute biological necessity. He consumes 50 pounds of calorie-dense blubber. These fats sustain him for weeks to come. The ecosystem wastes absolutely nothing in this wasteland. The bear abandons the remaining bloody carcass. Now, the scavengers rush in to feed. The white Arctic fox approaches the torn seal. Its thick fur helps it survive the freezing winds below zero. A pale grey glaucous gull lands nearby abruptly. One massive predator feeds 3 separate species today. This is the flawless efficiency of nature. But this ancient ice kingdom is slowly changing. Summer arrives earlier to the Svalbard archipelago. The jagged blue sea ice fractures much faster. Open ocean replaces the solid frozen hunting grounds. The bear must swim farther to find seals. Swimming burns precious and vital caloric reserves constantly. His scarred snout points toward the distant horizon. His giant paws paddle with absolute rhythmic power. He swims at 6 miles per hour effortlessly. The shrinking ice threatens this delicate ecological balance. Without ice, the apex predator not easily hunt. Without the bear, the scavengers will surely starve. The physical fragility of the melting blue ice. It mirrors the delicate balance of this kingdom. The Arctic wilderness is harsh, raw, and beautiful. Every animal plays a vital, interconnected survival role. The bear climbs onto a small, shrinking floe. He shakes heavy, freezing water from his fur. The wind howls across the desolate white landscape. He stands tall against the harsh, fading light. A true king of the vanishing northern ice. His reign depends on the frozen world surviving. Welcome to the Florida Everglades in North America. Welcome to the Florida Everglades in North America. Decaying sawgrass continually releases tannins into freshwater sloughs. This organic decay creates a tannic-brown ecosystem. These highly acidic waters conceal ancient biological secrets. The roseate spoonbill acts as an avian sentry. It sweeps a spatulate bill through the mud. Specialized tactile receptors detect hidden crustaceans for protein. Beneath this acidic surface lies the apex predator. The American alligator flawlessly dictates the ecosystem balance. Charcoal black scutes armor his massive 12-foot body. A missing upper right tooth proves past battles. Algae-stained yellow eyes provide superior low-light vision capabilities. He easily holds his breath for several hours. A specialized heart valve reroutes his blood flow. Bypassing the lungs saves precious cellular oxygen underwater. The swamp chorus throbs with deafening cicada vibrations. A dark brown marsh rabbit enters the primary habitat. This specific primary prey plays a crucial role. They convert abundant plant biomass into predator energy. Unusually short, rounded ears minimize severe heat loss. This thermal adaptation allows prolonged swimming in water. Water-slicked hind legs propel this semi-aquatic target forward. The alligator utilizes sensitive, integumentary sensory organs immediately. These black facial bumps detect microscopic water vibrations. They instantly map the location of swimming prey. This sensory array outperforms lateral lines in fish. He sinks flawlessly below the glassy water surface. Compressing his lungs achieves perfect negative aquatic buoyancy. The distance between the predator and prey shrinks. The marsh rabbit frantically paddles across the channel. The alligator stalks silently through the green sawgrass. Ambush predators strictly conserve energy for explosive attacks. The rabbit nears the muddy shoreline edge safely. Fast twitch muscle fibers trigger terrifying forward lunging speed. The marsh rabbit cannot escape this vice grip. The predator immediately initiates the legendary death roll. Conical crocodilian teeth cannot physically shear raw meat. Sheer biomechanical rotational force tears the flesh apart. Subsonic bellowing loudly announces his successful territorial kill. The apex predator absorbs vital calories for winter. This violent act directly supports the wider ecosystem. The scent of biological remains drifts downstream rapidly. Its leathery, olive-green carapace cuts the tannic water. Mapping the scent. This specific species serves as an aquatic scavenger. It eagerly consumes the discarded animal protein remnants. Eating decaying meat prevents toxic swamp bacterial blooms. The turtle effectively recycles nutrients, purifying stagnant water. The delicate Everglades food chain remains perfectly intact. Predators and scavengers maintain strict aquatic biological health. Absolutely nothing is wasted in this wetland biome. The biological nutrient loop closes until tomorrow morning. Golden solar rays paint the pristine wetland landscape. The roseate spoonbill flies above the bald cypresses. The Florida Everglades represents a living time capsule. It preserves a brutal but perfectly balanced world. The alligator thermoregulates on a muddy clay bank. Charcoal armor absorbs fading infrared solar radiation efficiently. This cold-blooded king outlived the dominant dinosaurs completely. Tree frogs begin their nocturnal, pulsating acoustic chorus. The environment dictates strict evolutionary rules right here. Only highly adapted biological machines survive this swamp. It remains a beautiful, unforgiving, and wild kingdom. The armored Leviathan slowly closes his yellow eyes. patiently awaits the warmth of tomorrow's sunrise. Tree frogs begin their nocturnal, pulsating acoustic chorus. The tannic river of grass flows on eternally. Nature always preserves her perfect, delicate ecological balance.